I'm FM Console, and we are going to have a quick chat about UI, because I think the UI in FM26 is becoming the most divisive thing ever. Is it a poor UI? Possibly. Is it a great UI? Potentially. What's the problem? It doesn't quite match expectations. It's not a great UI. Let's be honest about it. There's lots of little things, like I don't like certain screens in it, and I've been playing it on the PC version, and I'm a little bit like, oh, why do that? Why do this? Why put that there? Why? It doesn't make any sense. And I'm doing this from looking at it without being a PC player for a couple of years, going, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't want people getting frustrated, and we want to be honest and upfront about this, that you're going to see people who've never played the game before turning around and going, I'll pick this up really quickly. I don't know what the problem is.
Now, from a business point of view, you can understand. We're aging. We've been playing this game for 20, 30 years. They are looking for the next generation of players to be addicted to the game, to carry on the franchise that we love for the next 10, 15, 20 years. Because at the end of the day, we are people who are addicted to the game. They want to get on board more players addicted to the game. And that's shown. They've identified that 12.5 million people have only been playing less than 5 hours, which would indicate if you've been addicted to a game which has gradually evolved, then probably you'd play any edition. However, people coming new to the game are struggling with it. And what we're experiencing in FM26 beta is that struggle. We are not used to it. We don't understand it, and we're not quite a lover of it. We don't like it. So what we're going to do? A lot of people are asking for refunds. A lot of people are giving up, and a lot of people are going to give it another chance when the full game releases. One of the biggest criticisms that are coming their way is that the UI is basically designed for console. PC players are feeling alienated, they're feeling annoyed, and they're feeling disgruntled, and many are demanding refunds because they are let down by a game that they have trusted for over 20 to 30 years. Now, most of the anger is being directed at Sports Interactive. The second half of that anger is now starting to be turned towards the UI being console-y. Let's be honest, if you've played FM23 or FM24 console, you'll know the UI is shockingly poor. There are design mistakes on there which don't make much sense. It doesn't look like what the PC version, and we have suffered as a result of it being a console player. Is that fair for console players? Probably not. Is that a good enough reason to not change the UI for the next 2, 3 years, 4 years when you're redesigning the PC one with Unity in mind? No. But there's got to be an agnostic way of doing it. That's what they've said. And let's get into what Miles has said.
So we have 6 different cohorts that we design for, okay? And it's platform agnostic when we're doing that design side. We have 2 of our 6 cohorts are the plus 1,000 hour people, right? So when we're putting it together, any feature that we're working on, the initial design document that comes to me from the design team will say which of those cohorts it's being aimed at. And then we have this massive map that goes on to make sure that we've got things for everyone.
Out of the 6 possible areas of Football Manager players, only a third are the hardcore plus 1,000 hours. So it's not that you're not considered, it's just that you're not the priority, because there's 4 other areas of gamers that they have to consider when they're building the game. And that's the key point here, which people seem to not think about, is that they are given as much access to the game for yourself as they are for people they're trying to get on board. Now, it's hard to hear that when the game's not being specifically designed for you. I get that. And it does feel like it's a bit of an own goal. But there are 6 different areas they're trying to cover, which is why sometimes features look stupid. Sometimes it doesn't make sense. Why have you got that as a feature? I'm a long-term gamer. I've got a notepad. I don't need a squad planner. People use squad planners. We don't have it in console, but people do use it. So there's things which don't make sense, things that look broken, half-assed, not working before. Maybe that's partly because they're trying to get that onboarding process better. Now, here's a key thing. I don't know why they did it this week, but Sports Interactive published their blog, The Dugout, and in the Dugout, they've said, look, why not, as an accessibility option, play it on controller? That's gone down like a lead balloon. people are going, you know what? That's really, really great in my guts, because they aren't happy at the fact of you're designing this obviously for console. But Miles did specifically say, and to be honest with you, we haven't seen anything on it.
The console, we haven't shown the console SKU yet. We haven't shown the Apple Arcade skin yet, really.
And that's what makes me concerned. We haven't actually seen how console or Apple Arcade really are going to be playing. This is one of my biggest frustrations. We are what? 2 weeks away, 10 days, 9 days away from actually playing the version on console. We haven't seen anything. We've got a broken PC UI mess by many people's standards. I've had one crash, to be fair. In my defense, I've seen lots of little bugs. I can see a lot of things people have complained about. And there's a lot of bugs. There's like 1,500 bugs. But there's only been ever one crash for me, right? You know, lots of problems with how you use the UI, but only one crash. You know, that's fine in grand scheme of it. One crash is not a terrible thing. They are buggy messes in the previous builds. I'm hoping to God when they give us information on console and Apple Arcade and mobile this week, it's more than just a screenshot. If it's just a screenshot, I am going to go absolutely mental.
On console, things have been designed for the fact that you can't have a keyboard and mouse.
Yes, you can. You can plug in a keyboard and a mouse. Do not take away the functionality that makes a possible game changer for console by taking away keyboard and mouse, because bloody Nora, don't do that to us. Seriously, if you could have, this is a key thing, if you can switch between a controller and a keyboard and mouse, or even just a keyboard and controller, or a mouse and a keyboard, people will play it. People will play it. There's a difference here. You'll have people playing it on the TV, you'll have people playing it on console, you'll have people playing it on PC, you'll have people playing it on Switch. There'll be lots of different ways of playing it, right? Do not say we are getting rid of the functionality for a keyboard and mouse on console when you know it's on Game Pass on PC. You can play it on a TV, which you won't probably need a console, and you can play it on things like a Switch or PlayStation or Xbox, which can all support a mouse and keyboard functionality. Oh, this is not good. This is not good.
The initial design is done for PCs. Then we have a separate design team who work on the console side and Apple Arcade, who take what the PC team are doing and then adapt it for those platforms.
Are there calls that you have to make with one platform in mind over another, just because naturally...
PC and Mac...
And to be fair to Jack, he did say, look, people in PC are going to be wondering whether or not you're making those calls to benefit console or PC. Are they going to get overlooked? And Miles didn't really answer that question, did he? He was there and he was, and he's like, I'm not on social media, but I do see those comments. It was sort of like a sidestep away in that respect. And there are going to be different expectations. He didn't say he saw it as an insult. Miles didn't see console as an insult. However, you can sort of understand where users are coming from about the fact that they haven't got as much detail. The layouts are a bit random and they're not enjoying how much space is being given. And part of this reason is because of the adaptive layout. In previous editions of Football Manager 24 and beyond, you were able to have a bigger screen and more tiles. For if you watch a lot of content creators, they could have up to 16 different tiles and you may only be able to fit 4 or 5 in. But that got taken out really early on in the design stage because they just didn't have time to do it, as Miles says here.
We don't have adaptive layout in FM26. Early on in the process that we weren't going to have time to do adaptive layout for this year. So that decision was made. Longer term, I would love to have that back because then we can satisfy people.
And that's probably the biggest issue, along with all the other bits about the UI not being clickable, about bits being missing, about all the bugs and the crashes. The fact the game isn't that user-friendly and adaptable and they can't get the information they want to is probably partly down to the fact that people have got used to having access to more tiles because they got more screens. UI design oversight, probably a very big one. Is it the only problem they've got? No. But hopefully, this is why it may come across a bit more console. PC is still the core. PC is still a core. The one reason why the game engine works so well is because it's about 4 years old. People forget. It's just adding on to it, the 4 years old. If this, I don't think they're going to have 4 years to redesign the UI. It's going to take a long time to get it right, unfortunately, and people aren't going to give them that time. They've got a few weeks to get this turned around. They've got 1,500 odd bugs, and there's a lot of pressure on them. Is it console? Is it PC? I will leave it up to you to decide. But look, if you've enjoyed the video and you've watched this that far, first of all, thank you very much. Much appreciated. If you drop a like and a comment, as always, let me know what your thoughts are. Hopefully we'll get some console content tomorrow. But until then, who knows? We've still got the PC broken UI. Well, at least it's not console broken UI. Anyway, thanks for watching. Yeah, check out Jack's video by here. Until next time, thanks for watching. Thanks to Jack for letting me do the clips. Until next time, take care. Bye-bye.